Okay, so let's take a look at the next figure. And I put a little 4 in the center as a hint that we're going to be able to classify this one 4 different ways. Okay, so the first thing that I notice is it has 4 right angles. Okay, when I see those squares, it has 4 90-degree angles. So that tells me that it is a rectangle. I also notice that it has at least 1 pair of parallel sides. It has actually 2 pairs of parallel sides if we go across this way, and then if we go this way. Okay, so that tells me that it's a trapezoid. I also notice, and again, you can go right back to those definitions on the previous slide, okay? It has sides, opposite sides that are congruent or equal, which is going to make it a parallelogram. So here's our opposite sides, okay? Equal and equal, opposite sides. Looking at the markings, and it's a 4-sided figure, so it is a quadrilateral. Okay, so that one could be classified in 4 different ways. The next one can be classified in 2 different ways, and I didn't cover up my answer, so you're seeing it right now. But that's okay, because we'll just talk about what makes it a trapezoid and a quadrilateral. Well, what makes it a quadrilateral is this is a 4-sided figure, and trapezoid, if we go back and look at the definition, is a quadrilateral with at least 1 pair of parallel sides, which is what this has. Okay, these sides here, if we extend, they would just keep going and going and going. So there's 1 pair of parallel sides. Okay, there are no right angles, so it's not a square or a rectangle. Okay, and it is, let's see what else. A rhombus would have, so see how I'm going back and using the definitions? A rhombus would have 4 congruent sides. This figure only has 2 congruent sides. Okay, so it wouldn't make it a rhombus. Okay. This next one can be classified in 6 different ways. So there's a little hint. Let's go through each one because there's 6 of them. So we know right off the bat it's going to can be classified as each different kind. So it's a quadrilateral because it has 4 sides. It's a parallelogram, okay, again going back to the definition because it has parallel sides. It's a rectangle because it has 4 right angles, and the difference between a rectangle and a square is it has 4 right angles and 4 pairs of perpendicular sides, where a square is a right angle that has 4 congruent sides. A rectangle has 2 congruent sides. Okay? So this is going to be a rectangle, a square, a rhombus, and a trapezoid. And our last one here is, so they're all quadrilaterals because they're 4-sided figures, all these examples. Quadrilateral and a trapezoid because it has at least 1 pair of parallel sides. Okay? Wouldn't be a square because a square would need 4 right angles. So would a rectangle. This one only has 2. And it only has 2 sides that are congruent. And they're not opposite each other, otherwise it would be a rhombus. Okay, so again, going back using the definitions, okay, rhombus would have all congruent sides. Whoops. Okay, so your job is to go to the next page, and you are going to classify 5 more. The first one's done for you. Okay, so you're going to classify each of these, and I'll give you a hint. I don't think I gave you a hint on the slide, but I'll give you the hints right now how many different ways each one could be classified. So this one is obviously 1, just parallelogram. None of the sides are parallel, so there is no other classification. So this one's only classified one way. Number 2, so you can write this down, can be classified 4 different ways. Number 3 can be classified 4 different ways also. Number 4, 3 different ways. Number 5, 2 different ways. And number 6, also 2. Okay, so there's a couple hints for you guys. So use those definitions. Okay, so again, flip back to the slide with the notes. Okay, and use those definitions to help.